Hi guys, so today I'm here to talk to you about what has become my favorite character, and I guess everybody else's. I shouldn't say everybody else's, but I've had a lot of really positive responses to the character Jorge Hernandez, which I've mentioned in the past. I know the Spanish pronunciation is actually Jorge, but this is a guy who spent a lot of time in the US and Canada, so he kind of goes by the English version of it, I guess. And anyway, just to get that out of the way, ironically, I have a devil dancing right behind me. And of course, if you know my books, they have devil in the titles. And yeah, anyways, you probably already know that. Anyway, Jorge Hernandez. So he is a really cool character. Why is he a cool character? Why do so many people like him? Well, I'm going to tell you, it's as much as he's a bad guy, and I have talked in the past in videos about how we love the anti-hero. As much as he's a bad guy, he's also kind of a good guy in the sense that he has a lot of loyalty. So the people loyal to him, he's loyal back. He takes care of them. He looks after them. His family, he's fiercely loyal to. You don't hurt his family. You don't talk about hurting his family. You don't even think about hurting his family. And he will act very aggressively, which is probably an understatement. And I think that's something that appeals to a lot of people, because as much as, you know, we can put people into and characters into good guy, bad guy categories, but there's something to be said about being loyal to your family, to caring about your family, and your friends, and really being there for them. I think that's something that we sometimes feel like we're missing a little bit. And so we kind of appreciate in a character. I mean, this is somebody who, if you're going to hurt or even think of hurting his wife, his daughter, people who he's close to, it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be pretty. And I think it brings out the sort of primal side of him that people can relate to. I think most of us, as much as we may never actually do it, and hopefully never be in the situation when we feel the need to, if somebody really hurts or, heaven forbid, kills, threatens somebody that you're close to, you can find those very primal instincts coming out, that's that feeling of wanting to hurt somebody who's hurt somebody you care about. And I think that people really kind of connect with that. And as much as, again, they may not do it, if somebody, hurts somebody in their family, the thought's there. And we've all heard it. We've probably even sometimes said it. I know people who've said, if anybody ever hurt my children, look out. And this is kind of the same thing with this guy, and I think that that's something people do appreciate, because it's like, again, as much as he's the bad guy in some circumstances, when it comes to things that I think matter to all of us deep down, I think he connects with people. I think, and because he does so with such intensity and passion, people appreciate that just a little bit more than if he was kind of like, I'm going to kill you if you hurt my family. He's not soft about it. He's pretty convincing. I think just also because he's very, very, I don't know what the word to use. He says what he thinks. He really doesn't care if it bothers people. He doesn't worry about being insensitive. And not to say he's rude and obnoxious all the time, but he can be rude. He can be obnoxious. He says some of the things I think people say or want to say or think, but don't feel like they can. He doesn't mess around. You kind of know where you stand with him. I think people appreciate those traits because there's a certain honesty behind it. As much, again, for the millionth time I've mentioned this blog, as much as he's the bad guy, he's kind of still pretty honest in the sense that he's going to say it how it is. People like that. He's passionate. He stands by what he believes with. He's a bit of an alpha dog. And but he does have a sensitive side. I think that it's just the specific combination that people like. A lot of women say they like him because of the sort of combination in his character. But he dresses good, he looks good, he cares about how he looks, but he's not overly so. He's not out getting a manicure. I can't say that word right now for some reason. Or as one girl said to me a long time ago, I don't want to date a guy who spends more time working on his eyebrows than I do. So it must be confusing for men. That's so hard to get that balance, and that Jorge Hernandez, I guess you could say. Yeah, so I mean, I think that's why people are so drawn to this character. I know I love writing about him because I never even know what he's going to say or do. I love his fierceness. I love his abruptness. I love that he doesn't mince words. And his passion. I think that we really, really appreciate characters that have passion. There's a reason why those soap operas were so popular back in the day. It's because there was so much passion in them. And now you see that more in mainstream television, nighttime, daytime, whatever. But I think back then maybe not so much. I don't know. I'm not a TV expert, but the point is people like it. I do. Anyways, he may not be your favorite character, but Jorge Hernandez is very quickly becoming my fans' favorite character. If you have somebody else that you prefer, I'd love to hear about it. It doesn't even have to be a character I write about. I love hearing about why people are so drawn to certain characters. Why? What is it about them? And I think sometimes it's because we see a piece of ourselves in those characters, or we see a trait that we wish we had. If we don't feel so strong and we see a character who's very strong, you kind of admire them, you kind of idolize them in a way, and I think that's good sometimes. What do you think? If you want to learn more, go to my website to read about the book if you haven't heard of it already. The last few books with Jorge Hernandez have been, my very last one was The Devil Called Hernandez. Before that, The Devil Smooth Like Honey. You might also find him just at the end, a little bit of Always Be a Wolf. Great character. To learn more, go to mimaonfire.com. You'll see everything there. Thanks, guys.